Kwanzaa. So the service cannot proceed without the permission of our elders. So at this time, we'd like to invite our elders in the community to please stand if you're able. Do we have your permission to begin? Yes. Let's begin.
It is an African tradition to pour libation at all special occasions, and today is such an occasion. Pouring libation is a ritual practice of remembering and honoring the contributions of ancestors in many native and ancient cultures. Today, we pour libation out of love and respect for those who once lived in physical form, those who loved and served those who laid a strong foundation for us and upon whose shoulders we stand. I invite each of you today to speak quietly in your hearts the names of those ancestors in your family, your community, your culture, that you wish to honor today. Okay, so I'm gonna. We pour water, a necessary life-giving and sustaining substance, into rich, potent soil. Just as the water nurtures and supports growth in the soil, so too do our ancestors support and nurture us.
These forebears, also on our Kwanzaa table, are Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, the co-founders of Unity. They brought such rich tradition to our community and to this great Aloha Sunday and Kwanzaa. We also, because it is Aloha Sunday, turn to Dr. Mary Kavena Fukui, who wrote Olelo no Eau, this incredible book of Hawaiian wisdom that we turn to when we are coming to Aloha Sunday to find some Hawaiian wisdom that links with it. And this is no exception. For this Hawaiian, Ahohe, Pauka Ike, Ika Halau Ho'okahi. Aohe is not or none. Pau is finished. Ka is the. Ike is awareness or knowledge. E is to or towards. Ka is the. Halau is school or longhouse. Ho'okahi is only one. Mary Kavena says it this way: all knowledge is not taught in the same school. And today is a rich example of how we're not all lining up from just one school, from many. This is Aloha Sunday and Kwanzaa.
What is Kwanzaa? Kwanzaa is a 7-day holiday that celebrates the rich tradition and values of the African culture. The primary colors of Kwanzaa are black, red, and green, with black symbolizing the unity of the people, the red symbolizing the struggle of the people, and the green represents the future for the people. On each day of Kwanzaa, a candle is lit. There are 7 candles, and these 7 candles represent the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. The foundation of these principles begins with the acknowledgement that any positive change in the world comes from within. When we focus on all that is good, all that is right, pono, and the truth, then we make truth present in our consciousness. And as a community, we make truth present in our collective consciousness as well. What we are doing is creating the possibility and the opportunity to raise consciousness of all people. And on the seventh day of Kwanzaa is a day of meditation where we reflect on where we've been, where we are, and where we are going.
The first Kwanzaa word is umoja, which is unity. And a parallel concept in Hawaiian is aloha, lokahi, love and unity. Umoja is to strive for and maintain unity of family, community, nation, and races. So here we are, standing to revel in the power and light of each individually, collectively together, changing the world. We do this with love. We do it by identifying with love. Now, there was a time in my life where I didn't love myself, where I did not affirm the truth of my Christ's presence within, because I thought I was all alone and that nobody liked me and everybody hated me. I didn't get anywhere until I stepped into the truth, affirmed the truth that I am a beloved light in the world. And together, we manifest all that we want to create in unity. This is expressed in the unity principle. Unification is accomplished through love. Begin today to be a little more patient, practice kindness, be generous in thought and act. This is from the book Teach Us to Pray by co-founder Charles Fillmore and his second wife, Cora Fillmore. Great power and wisdom is within us. Are you ready to step into the truth of umoja, of aloha lokahi, and drink the wisdom of love in your heart? Let's see as we continue our celebration.
The next principle is KUJICHAGULIA, self-determination. The Hawaiian is mana iho, self-empowerment. The Kwanzaa says to define ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves instead of being defined, named, created for, and spoken for by others. It is our choice to determine who we are. It's not our families, it is not societies, it is not any collective thinking. It is our choice. And yet many of us choose to be led by society, lineage, and other choices. My lineage and my family is a bunch of engineers and financial advisors. I am neither of those.
But you're awesome.
Thank you. Not to mention a pretty man. It's our choice. Nobody can tell us how to be. We are divine. We are of the Spirit. We are of God. We are here to do what is ours to do. I can't do what is yours to do. You can't do what is mine to do. The universe depends upon us doing what is ours to do. Depends upon it. And how I stay in the straight and narrow line is by living in the question. Who am I? Am I really who I say I am? Am I all that I ought to be? When I step out, because Levitt doesn't have a clue. Levitt sometimes thinks he does. And then I think, who am I? Who am I? Am I being all I am saying I am? And am I doing all that I can do? Brings me right straight back to the spirit of truth that is me, being expressed as me. Who I am I being who I say I am? And am I doing all that I ought to be? I will do all that is mine to do. We're going to have a little tool on how to do this self-determination thing. See, I got caught off on all the stuff. How I do it is I go into prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation is the key, folks. I ask in prayer, what is mine to do? And how am I to do it? Then in the silence of meditation, if I'm willing, I get my guidance. And I make a list. I write it right down on a list. I write it down. And then I look at that list, and I visualize it, how I'm going to make it happen. I see it already. I visualize it in my mind, how I'm going to get from A to B. I used to do this a lot when I was playing football and rugby. Before the games, I visualize how they would turn out in my head, and they just about always turned out that way. So I've got a list. I've checked it twice. And I visualize how I'm going to make this list come alive. And then the most important one, the taking action. This is it, folks. You can have a list, you can visualize it all you want, but if you don't step into it and make it happen, then it won't. I am miserable when I am not taking action and doing all that is mine to do. And I ask those three questions once again. Who am I? Am I being who I say I am? And am I doing as much as I can do? The unity perspective is this. Keep your own light lifted up by living the victorious life of spirit. You do not know what God wants to do in you. You never know. Like I said, Levitt hasn't got a clue, but God does. God has a plan for me, has a plan for each and every one of you. Again, you are here to do what is yours to do. I am here to do what is mine to do. I've said yes to Spirit. I've stepped into that divine nature, and I will do all that is mine to do.
Our next principle is uima, which is collective work and responsibility. And the Hawaiian parallel is hela ke olelo, walk the talk. Uima is to build and maintain our community together and make our sisters and brothers' problems our problems and to solve them together. Now, this doesn't mean I get to meddle in your life and fix you, but it means that together we can solve anything. For where two or more are gathered, there we are in the presence of God. So whether we're sitting down and being a listening ear, or we're extending our hand and saying, let me help, let's do this together, then we can build anything. In the rich Hawaiian tradition, this is ho'oponopono. This is making righter. This is coming together and not leaving until we're at peace, until we can be pono, in righteousness, alignment with how we're collectively working together. And if we're working together, it works. If we're not working together, it no can work. If two or more people come together in a spirit of cooperation, understanding, compassion, joy, peace, love, and mutual blessing, imagine the energy they generate. Richard and Mary Alice Jafola are wonderful unity writers. This book, The Quest, it's this big, but it's this big in wisdom. This talks about this principle, uima, where we step into our truth together. For together we can build, resolve, clean up the mess, and do what is ours to do. Are you ready to join with me to do what is ours to do? Yes. Hallelujah.
Next we have Ujama, cooperative economics. The Hawaiian is polole koho, the right choice. This principle states, to build and maintain our own stores, ships, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. Here on this island in Hawaii, in all, this would mean buy local. This is the buy local. When we have our products to give or to offer to others, to sustain each other, we are to buy those locally as much as we possibly can. There was vegetables, there's foodstuffs, there was clothing. Most of all we need, we can buy local. And the invitation is to do that, because not only does it sustain the individual who is selling, but it also sustains the buyer as well. And in sustaining each other, we sustain the community. So buy local whenever you can and be sustainable. The unity says, the fact one has a surplus and gives some of it to another does not make the one a benefactor and the other a dependent. The one with the surplus is simply a steward of God and is merely discharging the work of his stewardship. Just because I give to someone doesn't make them dependent upon me. It is in giving that we receive. We cannot receive without giving. It is giving that we jump into the flow of circulation, that flow of giving and receiving to one another. And it's not only goods. It isn't foodstuffs and clothing. It's love, it's support. It's being there for each other. So let's together jump into that river of circulation and support one another whenever we can.
I love to jump. Nia, purpose. And in the Hawaiian, KIAKAHI, fixed purpose. Nia is to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. We are great beyond our imagination. We're created in the image and likeness of all that is, that divine principle. So that means that I have all the faith, all the love, all the joy, all the wisdom I'm ever going to receive, because I have all that God is. You have all that God is. We are endowed with incredible purpose. But how do I know what my purpose is? Prayer and meditation. We talk about it occasionally here at Unity. When we stop, breathe, and drop into that place where we can listen, we can identify purpose. And then we can operate from that knowing. We can roll out of bed and do that which we are to do. When I was sitting in Maui, eating my granola, and got the call to be a Unity minister, I didn't go, oh, well, someday it'll come across my path and I'll just do it. I stepped into it to do it. And I didn't do it alone. Sure, I have mine to do, but I've had the collective support of you and incredible teachers and mentors to guide me on the path. Having a fixed purpose, knowing Nia is powerful because we affirm and know that consciousness of greatness within us. So we stop trying or wishing maybe someday or I guess so. But know and be and step into the wonder of this moment together. This is stated in the Unity by really, to succeed, we must have some great purpose in mind, some goal toward which we are to work. Charles and Cora Fillmore said this simply: stop, breathe, affirm the truth, ask, listen, and know. The truth will be revealed. And this is stepping into our purpose.
Breathing is a good thing. Next we have Kumba, creativity. The Hawaiian is Kamea Nana Ihana, creator. Kwanzaa says to do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it. No matter where we are in a beautiful place, paradise. Our ancestors here before us gave this land to us to not only just preserve and maintain, but to make better. They made it better for us. And our duty as stewards of this land, the Aina, is to make it better, to not only preserve, but to make it better for all those who will come after us. And we do that quite a bit. We recycle bottles and cans and paper. There's even a rubbish to electrical energy power plant here on the island. So we're doing that. We are doing that. It is our duty as stewards of the Aina to not only preserve, but to make it better for all those who will come after us. Unity says, to create is to bring into visibility, to form something where before there was nothing. Emily Cady, longtime Unity author. We may not know what the future brings, but yet if we set the intention to not only preserve this Aina, but to make it better, we will make it better for all who will come after us. Set the intention to not only preserve, but to make this place better, wherever you are.
And the last, but not the least, is imani, faith. And in the Hawaiian, hilina'i, trust. Imani, to believe with all our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Now, here in Unity, we don't spend a whole lot of time looking at struggle, because we know that it's kind of a waste of time to dwell on our struggle. But we don't negate that it's a very real part of life. Life is not always easy. We've certainly experienced a huge challenge in our lives in these past 2 weeks. But we affirm and know with the faith of that greatness of our divine inheritance that we can walk through any difficulty, and on the other side is grace, is companionship, is learning, and is the truth. Life is change. And we can have faith and trust that no matter what is handed to us, we have all we need to left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, do what we need to do. From a foundation of unity written in a very unity way is this perceiving power of the mind act as a faculty in our consciousness, seeing the possibility of a thing or result long before there is evidence of it in the visible realm. This is a foundational unity principle. What we think, what we believe becomes our reality. So what are you thinking? What are you believing? That's your future. It's a very powerful tool and a universal principle. So we come together in this Aloha Sunday, Kwanzaa, to come to some universal truths that are not new to us, but we celebrate what we can glean from it to more fully know that we are the light of the world. We are Kwanzaa. And we have all the aloha to do whatever is ours to do. And so this recap of our principles today: unity,
self-determination,
collective work and responsibility,
cooperative economics,
purpose,
creativity.
and faith.
By taking these principles of Kwanzaa, weaving them into the principles of unity, and the truth as you know it to be, weaving this all together and stepping into it fully, we will live in harmony and unity.
I love that. Don't you love us? We often referred to as bookends. And as bookends, we're calling forth a traditional African rally cry for purpose and unity. It is.
Harambe.
And it's said 7 times, but let's have a practice. Harambe. Fabulous. And together.
Harambe, 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 Harambe. Swell, you're all fired up to go lead. I'd like to invite you now, though, with the breath, to, in that spirit of harmony and unity, you take a breath, close your eyes if you wish, and settle in for a time of meditation. Yes, with the breath we go home to where love prevails, where oneness is. And we live in harmony and unity. Harambe. We take in the truths of Kwanzaa and the truths of unity, and we weave them together to the truth as we know it to be, and express that truth, doing all that is ours to do. If you will, reflect on where you have been, where you are, and where you are going in the silence.